It is quite a pretty Friday indeed. And today is going to be a rest day. Today is going to be a rest day. I've got back tomorrow, and that's going to be an early morning lift because we've got the whole day at the Pittsburgh Pro Expo, followed by Sunday as well. So these next two lifts are going to be early. So that'll put me at so that's going to be back tomorrow morning, and then probably arms Sunday morning. I don't know. I might change it up. We'll see. I guess it'll just depend on kind of how I feel. But there's a pretty badass gym over there that I went to like 2 years ago or so. That was pretty freaking cool. So that'll be the plan for in terms of the setting, and that's kind of fun. It's if you've never had a gym where you got to sort of return later on into the future, be it like a gym you went on a family trip with, or I'm sure whenever I go back to the gyms I was bouncing around at back when I was in school, that'd be the same sort of nostalgia sort of feeling. And it's way cooler if you're much bigger the second time around than the first. I was really getting excited to go back to a gym down in, I think, South Carolina, whichever one's got Hilton Head connected to it, because we went down there when I was I had to be 16. I've got the picture somewhere. I'm doing a back double by 165, 170 maybe. And then we were going to go back about a year ago or so, maybe two-ish. I don't remember for sure. And I'm getting hyped because that was a badass gym. It was a powerhouse, but it was kind of like it was real new, it was really I'm not dogging on other powerhouses. Usually a powerhouse you kind of get like a grungy vibe from, but I don't know, this one was just it was just cool. It was sweet. Just kind of beachy gym, big ass windows. Yeah, it was really cool. I felt like a total chump though. I was walking around with an easy bar, and I'm doing it one-handed, just kind of holding it like a suitcase, because I must have thought I felt cool doing it. And then I bump over this guy's rein, or maybe it was a bang, I don't know, either one. And I totally spill it off his bench. If somebody was there, I'm sure my face went completely white. Because, this guy had to be 240 or something. Pretty big, freaking, kind of giving me some power lifter vibes. Tatted up. And I'm like a 16-year-old kid. I'm like, ugh. I'm sure, he probably wouldn't remember that back then. But yeah, either way, that was but so, we get down there. I'm looking around at all the Google Maps and everything. I'm like, powerhouse gym, whatever, South Carolina, closed. Didn't make it through COVID. Rather freaking unfortunate. That place was cool. But instead, me and Mark ended up going to this different gym that actually ended up being, I'd say, just as cool. Frankly, I think we got to do a little trip back over there, have a little beach week. Because every time we end up going on family trips, it usually branches off into a few groups. My dad and my brother go golf. Usually, my mom would kind of just go with them, and then I'm on my own. I end up going to lift. That's sort of how whatever kind of daily activity breaks off, and then we come back for the beach or dinners or whatever else. But yeah, those are fun, man. I miss it. Nothing like being a meathead on vacation and you get a new gym all to yourself. So that was fun. If you know what gym I'm talking about, I guess it's probably a niche reference, because you'd have to live there, know that it closed, and also know how cool it was back when it was still open. So yeah, either way, it's we'll see. But no, plan for now, just 30 minutes of cardio and then come back. So nothing wild. Even though it's a rest day, the cardio really shouldn't stop. I do not see the benefit. Unless if I'm dying, right? If I'm really croaking sick, then I might say, okay, no cardio today. Or, maybe a scheduling thing. If it really is going to cut into your sleep, assuming you actually went to bed at a reasonable hour, then I guess that could be a reasonable excuse, just because, I would say time spent sleeping, at least if you're in like a sleep deficit and you're only getting 5 hours, you might be better off getting an extra hour and a half than going to do cardio. But do not take that as though, oh, I should just sleep in. No. That's for the characters who are just staying up way too late for no freaking reason. But I think I'm gonna get in there, scroll TikTok, scroll Instagram, play Clash Royale, maybe do a little balloons tower defense battles. That's the way to freaking do it. And before I know it, 30 minutes will be over. Like it's like that, right? It's really not too freaking wild. But after that, come home, regroup, pack up some stuff, get the computer, get all the camera shit over, and then we'll get ready for. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun freaking weekend. I kind of missed out because at the last Arnold, I got the whole competing side of things, which is super fun, but it's kind of missed out on the actual group interactions. So I think these will be a fun 2 days. So let's I guess for you nothing's really going to change. I'll see you in like 2 seconds. There we go. Yeah, it ain't that bright. I'll tell you one thing. Out of all the discussions about training style and intensity and frequency and full body, I tell you what, I never hear these guys talk about how they actually do their cardio. That's one thing that's one point that I think is pretty strong. Pretty freaking strong. And I'm not lying. You really are missing out, right? Frankly, the only, it's like a damn infomercial, right? For only 30 minutes a day, you too can have an improved metabolism. You too can have a baseline level of leanness, much closer to DICE than you may not without some baseline regular cardio activities. Not to mention just the generalized freaking, health benefits. If there was ever a time, knock on wood, alternate universe, where I had to stop working out, or, I was about to say if working out became illegal, but even then I'd probably just still do it. Like, what are we talking about here? But if there was some kind of unstoppable force, weights were off the table, the cardio would not cease. And one thing, now that it's getting freaking nice out, I think I got to start biking around. Instead of the seated bike, maybe swap to just freaking pedaling. But then it's I don't know, it's not as consistent. Because at least when you're riding the seated bike, you got a consistent level of, I guess you could kind of say, resistance or difficulty, which you don't get on a regular bike. Because unless you have like, I don't know, because you go uphill and downhill, and then sometimes you coast. Like, it's not a consistent energy output like the seated bike is, which, I guess it's not like we came up evolutionarily with like perfectly static, cardio activities. It's much more natural, probably like playing basketball or something, having like little bursts of energy and then a second, or things like that. But it kind of just makes sense, at least for me. I can get my heart rate up to whatever zone 140 to 130 ends up being, and just hover it right around there for the 30 minutes. Sometimes, bump it up to 45 if I'm feeling froggy, but usually just the 30 is fine. But yeah, I tell you something, out of everything that you can actually add to your training, drop sets, supersets, whatever, or changing your split, I think adding cardio is actually probably your best bet compared to anything else, and I stand by that pretty freaking firmly. I need to make a freaking cardio enthusiast shirt. I think it's probably a good idea. But either way, plan now is go home, pack up all my shit, and get ready to roll. Got a little bit of a drive. 3 hours isn't that bad though. Honestly, 3 hours is kind of chill. It was like 2 hours for me to drive from school back to my house, and sometimes in my last the last couple semesters, I didn't have any classes scheduled on Friday or Monday, or I did, but they were like maybe the Monday one was like an online lecture kind of thing situation. So I pretty much just ended up driving driving back and forth those 2 ways, just to, I guess I'm just thinking of an example when I was driving. But yeah, so that's the plan. Let me think, what else is going on? Yeah, not freaking much, man. I think once we actually get to the hotel over there and get set up, maybe I'll do a hotel, do a little Q&A. I wonder if they have a pool. I would not mind an indoor pool, just kind of freaking hanging out. That might be kind of fun. But I guess that's all I got. A little bit of a chill update. I mean, the rest days, not a lot to see. But this weekend will be cool. I'm sure we'll get some cool little, all sorts of fancy little clips and stuff. So I guess if you're going to be around, then I'll see you in Pittsburgh.